Hi, welcome back to our pre-launch week celebration. We are excited and having fun getting ready to welcome those who sign up to be founding members next week. Why did we form Grandparenting A to Z? Let's face it, families are struggling in 2021, and they have been for a while. Think about the issues modern families face today. Divorce rate, blended families and difficult relationships, family disconnect and broken relationships, changing values, addictions like drugs and alcohol, financial problems, and then add a global pandemic and all that brings. These are just some of the things we'd like to help grandparents confront and overcome with grace and love. Why is this important to me specifically? Well, first and foremost, I love my own family and I work hard to create a strong and loving environment among the generations. In addition to that very personal motivation, I've been an estate planning attorney since 1995. My husband Cliff is also an estate planning attorney and we work together. We've spoken with thousands of families. Between the two of us, we have over 7 decades of law practice, and more than 50 years of that, between us, has been dealing with families as they plan for end-of-life issues. Now, when you're talking about end-of-life planning, you hear a lot about family life. We've heard so many stories from grandparents. Many of them are good, but there are also those that are heartbreaking. I know there's a need for a place that grandparents can turn for good advice, resources, and community, a place to talk. That's what we'll build in Grandparenting A to Z. We want this membership to become a clearinghouse for all things grandparenting. We'll learn from each other, from experts like psychologists or genealogists, and more that we bring into the members-only content section each month. We'll create or we'll search out the resources that you need to overcome and be a smashing success as a grandparent. You know, there just aren't as many resources out there for grandparents as there are for new parents. We're going to change that. The grandparent-grandchild relationship is unique and it's a beautiful and incredibly important relationship. We're not parents, but we're not peers either. We're full of love and we have fun with our grands, of course, but we also hold a truly unique role and a position of influence in the lives of the young people in our family. If we're wise, well-informed, and we have good intentions, we can be a positive influence on our family for the next 100 years or more. Our grandchildren are the future mothers, fathers, and grandparents in our family tree. Let me tell you a story and share how that influence can work. A few years ago, our granddaughter Kira was visiting. She was, of course, engrossed in a tablet, and I was feeling just a little frustrated that she wasn't paying enough attention to her nanny. Now, thankfully, a moment of inspiration set a course for our relationship that holds true even now. I asked her a simple question that pulled her out of her screen time. It was simple, direct, and it shifted her attention immediately. And here's what the question was. You know something I really love about you? Now that question reached deep into something that all of us experience in life, but most especially when we're young. Can you guess? It's that deep place of self-interest. Yes, every one of us is just a little bit selfish, and we all worry to some extent what others are thinking of us, what they're thinking when they look at us. This question told Kira that I had something good to say about her, and her sweet little heart perked right up and was ready to listen. I talked to her for a few minutes about how impressed I was that she liked math in school. She smiled, she focused intently, and listened carefully while I praised her. When I was done, I asked if she wanted to play a board game. She put down her tablet and began to engage directly with me. No fuss, no yelling about electronics, no upset. She listened with her heart, and it shifted her actions. This special moment has led to many others like it. It taught me that to get her or our other grandchildren's attention in a deeply personal way before trying to change behavior or share wisdom, that's a good idea. It started a habit of Kira listening to her Nani talk to her about important life matters, and that's influence. What's really fun to watch now is the shift in her attention when either my husband or I start important conversations with her. She really pauses and listens and internalizes what we're saying to her. This is influence. This is one way to share that wisdom and good advice with our grands. It works. We do it often with our grandchildren, and you can too. Then we pray that they remember when faced with challenges in their future, they remember that wisdom. Now, maybe your grandchildren are older and you didn't start communicating like this when they were young. That's okay. Start now. You can do this too. Start with praise only if that's what's necessary to build trust. Then move deeper into communicating. What do most teenagers want? Well, many times it's simply to be heard as they struggle to determine who they are in life or they face some anxiety. Start a conversation with them by sharing something special and unique to them. Do it until they open up to you and begin to really hear what you have to share. Stay tuned for our next email and video, where we'll talk about transforming the grandparenting experience for the modern age. Grandparents like you and me, we are relevant and we are important for today's culture. Thanks for listening in today, and we are so happy that you've joined us on this journey. Be grand and enjoy the grand journey.